Hey man, you want to find some secret clues with me? Oh yeah, let's find some secret clues. Oh yeah, here's one. We're in the ancient columns of Greece. Here's a clue. Let's find out what it says, the clue. Alright, so we got some videos here, and they seem to have a theme here, so we'll address that theme. First, I've got a video I made called Receding Hairline versus Maturing Hairline. Crowny asks, quote, "My hair is thick, but my hairline is turning still," end quote. To which I responded, and I said, that's a better situation than I'm in, since I have both recession and thinning. On a similar note, the video, Hair Loss Victim, This Isn't Fair, Social Injustice, Anias K had this to say, quote, "Hey Nick, greetings from Greece. I'm 18 years old, and I have an M hairline, in other words, Norwood 3 like I've got. And I'm pretty sure that it's been this way, it's been that way ever since. Does that mean I'm gonna go bald soon? I'm quite worried about my hair, mainly because I don't see many men my age to have the M hairline like mine." So, let's see, he goes on to say, he can almost grow a full beard. "Thanks for making videos about this topic. I'm watching your videos for like 6 months now. Keep up the good work." And by the way, the video I made just before this talked about how there's certain people who are never going to allow themselves to get through this and to get better and overcome their hair loss. And that's their focus. Then meanwhile, you got guys like Anias K who are on that journey. I mean, and I hate that, to hear that you're 18 years old and you've already got my hairline. I'm sorry to hear that. As far as me predicting whether it's going to happen to you, I think I'm going to have to go back to the part of, like I told Crowny, you know, there's one thing to have a receding hairline. There's another to be losing your hair. And I know it can be kind of murky waters there, a little bit confusing on the difference. But here's the way I'm going to answer this question as far as, you know, whether this M hairline that you've got at age 18 is going to get worse. I'm going to say the hairline isn't the issue, thinning is. And you mentioned nothing about your hair thinning. So I'd say for now, just accept that you've got the M hairline. And as long as that doesn't bother you, I think you'll be okay. Now, the time to think, okay, well, things are changing for the worse, is when you do see balding. Now, for me, that didn't happen until I was 30. And it's been happening since I was 30. So for 6 years now, there's been thinning going on. And when that happens, also, that's when I started seeing the progression closer to Norwood 4 as well. I'm starting to see the M start to go in this way now. So, I don't know, I guess what I should say, are you cool with just having the M hairline but with no hair loss? Like if you could keep that for the next 10, 15, 20 years, would you be okay with that? I now remember when I was in that situation, actually with Norwood 2, when I was around age 21, 22, I noticed that I was at Norwood 2, and I thought, man, this isn't the ideal hairline. My hairline's starting to recede, but man, if I could just keep it the rest of my life, I guess I'd be okay, you know? And I understand you're half my age and you've already got my hairline, but even then, well, what if? Would that be cool? Would that be an okay bargain that you'd be okay with, to think, okay, well, I've already got the M hairline, but as long as I'm not thinning and actually losing any more for the next couple of decades, I guess I could be cool with that. So, I mean, I guess that's my question. I mean, are you cool with that? Would that be okay? I don't see any major reason to worry right now based on what you're telling me. I mean, I get it that your hairline has receded higher than other people your age. Not downplaying that at all. But without your hair thinning, you may be okay. I mean, there are certain guys who have the Norwood 3 and then they just kind of keep it without thinning. I'm not one of them. I mean, I stayed Norwood 2 for nearly a decade before I started thinning, and then I transitioned into Norwood 3. So what I'm going to say to you is don't worry about it yet. It hasn't gotten worse yet. It may get worse at 21 or 22 or next year or a decade from now. And that's the thing. That's, I think, part of the thing that keeps subscribers growing and coming back to my channel is, but if this were an exact science where we totally understood it, then people wouldn't be as intrigued by it. But it's like a random lottery. You don't know what you're going to get. And that's why a lot of people who have that victim mentality, who never overcome it, they get hung up on that. You know, why are some men never losing their hair while others do at such a young age? They get caught up on that. It's something they can't control and they can't overcome it. So I think
I like your approach on this, and I like your attitude on this, because you're being proactive and you're being calm about it, and you're just kind of figuring out what's going on. But I'm going to say, by all means, don't freak out about it. You haven't mentioned anything about thinning. You may just have a Norwood 3, and if that's what you keep throughout your 20s, you're better off than the guys who have less hair than that because they have thinning. So you sound like a grateful person that can handle that. You sound like someone who is victorious and not a victim, because ultimately that's really what this comes down to. We're not all victims for having hair loss. We're victims when we convince ourselves that things will never get better and our life is going to fall apart and that we can't overcome it. That's when you actually are losing in this game. But you can win and have all your hair gone. But some people aren't going to believe that. And those people who don't believe that, they're the people I'm not talking to right now on this video. This video is for people who think they can overcome it even if they lose their hair.